Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 here in the pristine, untouched wilderness of the Calmlands. But it's not a rinse and repeat at all. I've seen a couple of boulders and I've seen the bridge, and I assumed it was a rinse and repeat, but it's not. No, this one's... It's the same bridge, yes, but it's laid out differently, so it's not a rinse and repeat. He hasn't done a copy-paste situation right there. That earns points. Now let's go and have a look at the bridge down here, because we can see there's another one down this way. There's more bits. There are more bits scattered around, so we're over here at the moment. There's other bits up that way. I don't know what's up there. Kind of want to go and see in a second. So there's a little bridge going across the river there. I'll leave that bit, and we'll go over and have a look at this one, and then we'll run up there. So let's just race down this way. You can see it coming over the horizon there. And it's an entirely different bridge that we've got going across this river here. Nice area. So we've got proper grass down this way, without all the weeds and stuff in it. So this bit close to the river down here, this is the actual river down through here. That's a deep river there. I was going to say it looks like... Oh, it does. It looks like it just comes down to there. And I was going to say it loses points because the pillar is floating and the ground should be coming up underneath. And I was about to say it doesn't, but actually the pillar is floating. I mean, I'm not going to... I was thinking... what I did say. I don't think this is a 5-star map. This is not one of those ones that is absolutely perfect. But that is definitely a bit that I feel is slightly jarring. There should be something in underneath that one to support the center of the bridge. However, I do like the feel of this overall. I love the fact that the water is so deep here. That is good. You don't see that very much with a lot of these things. Helper J. I don't want to go all the way up and then see Helper J, because I'm all the way down here now, and there's one last little bit that I want to run to before I go and deal with Helper J. Have they both... Oh, no, they haven't both stopped. What's going on up there? What are you two doing? Why is... Oh, I know what he's done. He's driven up there. He's in the middle of that field. He's driven into a tree. I'm all the way down here. Look where I am. See how long it's taken me to get here? I want to have to go back again. Right. Let me run quickly over to the bit over there, and we'll see if there's anything hidden in the woods. I like the open bit out through that way. I think it looks quite good. And yes, it'd probably look a little bit better if there were more tree textures on it. It does look a bit dead and empty over there. And I think the artwork, because that's just like basically a background, it's like a backdrop, just a bit of artwork on there. I feel that would look an awful lot better if there were trees included in that artwork. So that's a point that could be improved upon. And here, there's actually sheds. We've got 2 sheds in here that we can use. And just a little bit of open area. This is so that you can do multiplayer and you basically can start another farm down here is what I'm assuming. Right, anyway. Go to you. You drove into that tree. There's only one tree in this entire field, or next to this entire field. I mean, I was actually thinking about removing that tree. But if I put a fence around this field, that tree is not going to be much of an issue because there's going to be a fence in front of it, so it won't really matter. Bring you back that way, and yeah, you carry on there. So the rolling can keep going. Let me just now double check that we have done all of the planting. There's a little tiny bit there that is saying needs lime still. How did I miss that? Oh, I don't know. Alright, it looks like I may have missed a little tiny bit just on the top there with the planting. I've planted everything out to the edge just here, and again, it is where that tree is. That's the bit that we've missed. It's where that tree is. So let's drop this one down here, and we'll just do a line along here. Shouldn't spoil the rolling that we've already done, but it's only just there that I need to go like that. Right. And now it's filled it in. So it's that tree is causing us a slight problem here with a few bits. generally speaking, it's not too bad. Alright, we'll run you in here. So there's another bit that I want to go and have a look at on the map in a minute. We'll bring this one in here, and we'll wash this one off. And stop you there, and I'll turn the engine off so we don't have to have that roaring in our ears while we're doing the work. So we'll clean this one up. 90% dirt, 91% dirt, I think that was actually on. Clean this one off here, and then we'll clean off the Fiat as well. Amazon D9 4000. We need a workshop. That's going to be another thing that we're going to want here, is a workshop so that we can repair our machinery. And we're going to want an actual workshop this time instead of just a doing it in the field out of a toolbox. So that's something that we are going to have to buy. And it'll probably end up being one of the next things we get, I think. Get this all nice and clean first. I'm not sure what tractor I want to get next. I'm torn. We'll have to have a look at the tractors at some point soon, and we can see which one we're going to get next. Now, I'm going to put the seed drill in the shed right here. Reverse you in. Oh, no, not there. I'm actually going to want to put the seed drill in front of there, so we'll bring you back this way a bit, and I'll lower you down. Now, was there anything else I wanted to do? I don't think there was. I've already refueled this one. Right. While the other one is still going on with the rolling, the other bit that I wanted to see, we got off of Area 28. So there's Area 1 up. That was the bit that I wanted to go and see, was Area 1. So the closest I can... Actually, we'll probably just go up to here. We'll go back to the electric charging station. I will visit. I'll run out this way. Just because it's going to be easier. What is that? Seriously, what is that? That looks like a bag of drain rods. It looks like a bag of drain rods. They're ready for cleaning out that drain. But I don't quite know why they're just dumped there and left. Seems a little bit odd just to go and leave them there like that. What are your views on this map? Anyway, for what we want to do for the series that I'm doing, I think this map is absolutely perfect because it's open space for the most part. There are some trees here that we can go and cut down. If we were to go and buy this, we've got some trees here that we can work with. But for the most part, the map is completely open space, which means that we're less focused on tree felling, more focused on building up our farm. So the overall feel of this map, what are your views on it? Get into the comments section and let me know. And No Man's Land is a really popular one. A lot of you wanted me to play No Man's Land. I wanted to do this one because there's so much stuff with No Man's Land out already. And I kind of I like it, but I kind of wanted to just try a similar map with a slightly different take on it. And this one just appealed to me a bit more. I don't know why. I just kind of like this one. But I really like that. But I know that there's definitely people who prefer No Man's Land over this one. So I'm curious. Get into the comments section and give us your honest appraisal of this map. What do you think of it? What are the faults with this map? What are the positives with this map? Give us all of it. Let it rip. What do you like? What do you dislike? If there are any big changes you would want to see to this one compared to No Man's Land? Are there any features in No Man's Land you'd want in this one? Is there any parts of this one you'd want to see in the other one? Compare the two. Give some... I don't normally like to use the phrase brutally honest because very often the people that self-proclaim brutally honest tend to like the brutal part over the honest part. But this time I am actually going to ask you to be brutally honest. Tell me the faults that you have. What are the issues you have with this map, as well as the positives? Give us everything, and try to do it as constructive criticism. Assume that the person who's created this map is actually going to watch that video, and he's going to watch this video, he's going to drop into the comment section, he's going to see your comments. So you've got another human being face to face. So don't be unnecessarily harsh with him just because you can, but offer criticism and offer what could be done to improve. Now, that's the thing. Criticism is very different to just harsh, just generally being harsh. There is a difference between criticism and just, being unpleasant. Criticism is valuable. It's absolutely invaluable because you can take that on board and you can make changes and alterations and you can make improvements. Someone just being harsh, saying, well, it's rubbish. Well, that doesn't do anything. That's not going to help anybody with anything. It's rubbish. You need to fix it. What's that going to do? I didn't like it because, and then list off a load of reasons. That helps it. That's helpful. That's what the person wants to see, because then they know what the areas that they can improve. But anyway, so the great secret that we got hidden up here is that there is another area that we can go and build a farm. I'm wondering if there's one of those cartridges up here. I'm not going to pick it up if there is, but I'm just wondering if there is one. I'm going to quick scout around. Look in the barn as well. Have a look along the back shelf. Seems like it'd be a bit obvious to place it in here, though, doesn't it? I reckon there is one up here somewhere. I reckon it's got to be. But quite where it's been placed. So the rocks have got collision on them, so you don't, pass through them. You've got to climb over them. I'm certain that somewhere around here there is going to be another one of those cartridges. Quite where it would be, I don't really know. It would take a little bit of looking for. I don't know. Could be here anywhere, really. I look forward to seeing your comments on this map and comparing it to No Man's Land and what you think should be changed and what shouldn't be changed and so on. I definitely think we need a bigger roller than this. This is a slow process. I definitely think that we need to improve on that. So that is possibly going to be one of our targets for next year. Buying a bigger roller. So we'll do that. There's one little tiny bit there that I'm probably not even going to bother with. So he's going to keep working on that. So what am I going to do? I'm not going to sit there and just stare at him doing that like a lemon. It's April, so that means eggs are at their absolute cheapest right now. That's eggs there, isn't it? Eggs. 950. Actually, they're going up. May. 955. It was 800 and something here, so we're already climbing. June is where I want to sell the eggs first. June, July. And then we hold on to them a bit longer, and then we sell another chunk of them in November. So we'll probably sell twice a year for eggs. I mean, maybe we should sell a bit more than that. I don't know if you think that maybe I shouldn't be holding eggs quite that long. I'm quite happy to make alterations. We've got flour, which we know sells in December best. And then we'll be making canola oil, and that's going to be a November job. So we might get the canola oil and stuff all processed before then, but we've only got the 1 mill, so I'm not entirely sure that it's going to be able to process everything before that point. We may have to wait a year before we can sell all of it, but we've already got one full pallet here, and we've got another one working in. I think it's looking pretty good. We just need to wait for this roller to finish. Alright. I have come back to do some more recording. The tractor and roller is working up and down the field over there, and I was standing out here just gazing across this little bit of valley right here, admiring the view. It's looking quite nice. I was thinking that, because before I did say that maybe we would do some work about making hedgerows along with some of the fences. So I was thinking maybe we could do a little bit of that at some point soon. I'll jump over and have a look at the tractor. So we've got this much left to do, and we have to get the rolling finished before the we can go on with the next day. So we got no choice on this. We do have to kind of stay with it. So what we'll do is if we go to construction. Now, we've got stuff laid out here for the chicken pen, and I'm quite happy with this at the moment. Probably the only thing that will change a little bit is just push down like the edge here a little bit. Blend some of this like that. Just to sort of give it a slightly more natural edge on there. It was pointed out in the comments, because I was just correcting and leveling some of this, that, you know, in real life, if you were making up a field, you wouldn't be correcting and smoothing and leveling it as you went along. You would just kind of work with it. And yes, I do agree with that. I do, but I'm also working within the limitations of the game itself. And if you had a little tiny pit in the ground, even just a bit like that there, the act of working the field just here would basically remove that pit in the ground. It would sort of scrape it over and fill it in quite a bit, and you would essentially work the ground a little. With the limitations of the game engine, and because obviously it is a game and not real life, it does mean that those little pits and stuff in the ground, they don't get naturally filled in, and they just get left there, and you bounce through them as though sort of the edge is lined with stone. And that is the bit that wouldn't be realistic at all, and that's the bit that kind of breaks the immersion on it, which is why I do go over and do the smoothing, and which is why I also get frustrated, because I'd like to just, that bit where he dipped in just then, I'd like that bit to just be pulled up a little bit, to be smoothed off some more, so that the machine can actually reach that in a better fashion. But we're not able to do that because it doesn't level upwards, it only levels downwards, and that's why I get frustrated with that. But anyway, I'm not going to do that at the moment. I'm thinking hedgerows. So we've got a hedgerow that we could do up through here, sort of along this fence line. There's also one that we can do alongside the road. And I was thinking just we'll do a little bit of work beside the road while we're waiting for that to finish for now. And we won't worry too much about the fence line going up the hill. Because on the side of the road here, this is an area that's never really going to get touched, is it? It's nothing's going to get done with it. So we're going to start putting in a few stones and things like that. So we've got a few options for rocks and boulders and stuff here. There's not loads of them, but what I like about this particular decorative pack that we've got here, I love the idea of having a great big boulder right there. It's kind of back over there. Just like that there. What I love about this decorative pack here, it's fairly cheap. We don't want to put too many stones down, because it doesn't matter how big these stones get, they're still only 50 euros each. They are 50 euros each. But they don't level the ground around them. Now, we've got, so it's all decorative rock pack. So they don't actually smooth the ground beside them when you use them, and this is something that I really like about these stones. So we can go and place a few of these in, and we don't have to worry about the ground auto-leveling beside it, and that's what causes problems with a lot of things. So I'm just going to put, I don't want to overdo this, because this is actually costing us money, so we kind of need to. It's not unusual to have a load of rocks placed by councils and so on along the side of the road, but I don't want to have too many. I was kind of thinking I might just do a little bit here. I'm going to spend a little bit of money and just do a piece here like this. And you see here that the stones are kind of, they join together rather nicely as well. So we can just have this rocky outcrop right here. And I can even put some stones on top of other stones, and they fit in really nicely. See, look at that. They do blend well together, this lot. This I like this. Put that one there, and then we'll get that one there, and that will kind of form a piece on the front like that. And it's got a bit of a rocky overhang just there, and you get lizards and stuff living underneath it. All right, we'll just go with that. I think we've spent plenty on that. So we can go with trees. Now, trees, I like them and I don't. In real life, I like to see trees everywhere. In game, not so much. Because when you try to drive past them, they're nothing but a jolly nuisance. They get in the way and they cause problems. So, for the most part, I'm not going to put very much in the way of trees in. It was a little bit big to go there. I want to keep them back from the field. Put these in here. And you wouldn't have any going in front of these signs. You could have a few behind the signs. These are 10 euros a piece as well. So we've also got... Ooh, no, we definitely don't want anything like that. I guess I could... I don't want it leaning over the field, but I also don't want it leaning over the road too much either. Alright, let's... We'll stick a... No, that's 1,000. Alright, I'm not going to put any of those in. I'm not going to put any big trees in. We'll go with a few of these. And these are, if I change that to circle mode, make that a little bit bigger. Now, the good thing about this is that these are free. So, these bushes we can put in. Absolutely free of charge. And this is where we start sort of working on building up a hedgerow. You've got to mix in these different shrubs, but it's difficult to get them just right. So there, we've got one like that. Here's another one. Put a couple in over this side. There. Right, now we're talking. We're starting to get a bit of a mixture of shrubs and bushes and stuff coming in. And this is what starts to make it. There we go. These bigger ones here are a little bit more difficult to get to place accurately, so... Yeah, we can put a few in like that. Just off the sides. But overall, I think this does look good. Start getting in a few like that, and we can put a few shrubs just there and around our rocky outcrop. We'll go on up a little bit higher, and we'll put a few little patches in like that. And it's not unusual to have an area where you've got like a lot of shrubs all the same, like that. That's not in the least bit unusual. You go and have a look. When next time you're on a long journey, if you're a city slicker, if you live in the country, you probably know what I'm talking about already. And you have a look and just study the hedgerows and that, and you'll see. I mean, if there's a hedgerow, tightly trimmed hedgerow, then obviously a little bit different. But it's quite normal to see patches of shrubs, especially on slightly more open ground. So you'll see an area that's just got one type of shrub, and then next to it there'll be another area that's got another type of shrub. So this is actually quite a normal thing, like this. And yes, you do have mixtures of them as well, so you kind of get like a bit of both, but that's what I like about it. It's actually quite easy to create a kind of natural looking environment, because at the moment we're placing it in, so we're doing it one little bit at a time, and you're sort of thinking, oh, I don't know if it would look like that. But then when you go out and you actually have a look at the things in nature, they're not, well, they're actually random. And this is the thing, I've talked about this before, with random being, it doesn't, true random doesn't look random to the human brain. It looks, you're designed, and your brain has conditioned itself to pick out patterns. You pick out patterns. They're easy to identify. So you pick out the patterns, and you're like, oh, there's a pattern there. Well, that's not random. If it's a pattern, it's not random, therefore it's not natural. And this is something that we kind of drum into ourselves, and it's very weird. But true random actually will have more patterns in it than you realize. And so you've got to keep that in mind when you're doing stuff as well. Right, anyway, we've done this. The stones that were there was a few stones that were left over. It has also... Oh, there's a stone there that's not been rolled in. I don't know why that one didn't end up getting rolled in. Because we turned stones off, we may not necessarily have the stones that have now come up disappear properly under the ground, although that one is. Why did that just disappear and then these not? If we had it miss a piece, it does that sometimes, doesn't it? Let's scroll in here. Have a little look. Filters there. Right, well, the rolling thing seems fine, but... Oh! I know why. Because we've got the stones now turned off, the hired help is not affecting the stones at all, so we had to manually roll them in. That's why. That would at least be my guess on that particular little subject. It has been pointed out that although I've turned the stones off, some of you come from parts of the world where you have to regularly deal with a lot more stone than is represented in this game. And so it's quite a normal thing to see that amount of stone being present in the game. And yeah, I absolutely agree. I'm not going to argue with that in the slightest. I would consider that to be quite a normal thing, to have massive amounts of stone like that. However, the overall mechanic of stone and the way it works in this game, the general consensus that I've been getting from comments is that we shouldn't have it. Also, a lot of you, regarding the random events that we're going to be starting up after the first harvest, several of you have urged me to be a little bit restrained when it comes to imposing penalties on the things that we do, because of the fact that this is already a hardcore series and we're already making things difficult. So we don't need excessive amounts of penalties in order to make the random events work. It can be smaller penalties that aren't quite so severe. So once we've completed our first harvest, that is when we will start our random events. And so far I've gotten a few of them written down. Someone suggested that something would happen and we would have to borrow some money from someone and then pay it back a little bit later. So maybe we'd borrow some money for a breakdown or something like that. One was a breakdown happens, and so we have to lease a machine for that month in order to be able to pay for it. Let's go over and we will sleep the night, and then I will find my post-it note where I was scribbling down a few of the ideas. Absolutely do not overdo it with penalties, seems to be a big message. Right, one that I had an idea of. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.